It's going to be hot today, so I'm watering the lawn. So I thought I'd make a video while I'm watering the lawn real quick. I had a thought earlier. You know, if the material world is, they show through quantum mechanics that the world itself, materials, there's a claim that they're really not there until you observe them. And it got me thinking about the spiritual side of life. And with the positive, negative, the yin-yang, how the other side of it is that the spiritual world only appears when you're not looking at it. You can meditate and ignore the material world, and once you're not paying attention, that's when you start to gain knowledge. So they say that the most important things we can learn are not learned through learning, but rather knowing. And I just ask myself, does that mean that we can never know anything? Does that mean that the only way to experience true bliss is really just to be? The more I try to learn about something, the more I realize I don't know with any subject. And I started thinking about it a lot the other day. The things that have made me happiest haven't required any learning whatsoever. And life is all about experience, right? So how do we make that experience permanent without pulling ourselves away from all the daily activities we have to do to survive? It's an interesting thought. I don't know. The idea that nothing's, there until you look at it, and the idea that we create matter. I mean, that's a route of thinking in quantum physics, that, matter does exist, but really it requires the observer. And, I don't know what to make of all that. It's a lot more complicated than just saying things are manifested by us, but it's rather the collective everything. But it's not there unless you're not looking at it. If you're not observing it directly. You ever notice how sometimes when you're looking at something too closely, you kind of miss it? One of my subs left a comment the other day, or yesterday, I think. And she said that she related it to a quilt she was sewing, and that when she was sewing it, it was all these little pieces, that didn't really look good. They didn't seem to fit together. But once the quilt was done, the whole picture emerged, and from afar it looks beautiful. And that metaphor really hit home with me, We are the quilt. We're all woven into it. Any separate part just wouldn't make sense, but the whole of it makes sense, but not when you're looking directly at it, not when you're trying to observe it. This is why science, I think, has become such a, a dead-end search when it comes to the spiritual being, I guess. It's almost laughable to try to explain things away, because the entirety can never be known. At least that's my opinion. I don't mean that as humans we're not capable of understanding our world. We're doing the best we can, but my question has always been the same. How does it serve us? Does it make our lives better? Is it more rich? And what are the experiences in life that people find the most valuable? And those are the ones that can't be explained. Einstein had a comment about that. He said, can't remember what it was great though, something along the lines of that the only thing science can't explain is the mystical experience, and without that mystical experience there's no point in living. He put it pretty bluntly, however he did it, and I'll try to find it. But it was all of the most famous theologians, philosophers, and scientists have all come to the conclusion that regardless of what we know, it's what we're not observing, that what we can't observe, that plays with us. This is why, it's a playful world. It's a playful universe. I'm sitting here doing my daily routines, but still at the same moment, I'm remembering that it doesn't really matter. All the little things in the big picture of time were but a moment. All done.